Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard. A new animatronic made by Techie and sold at Lowe's for the 2026 Halloween season. As a new member to join the Bluetooth Reaper band that has been ongoing since 2023. If you are planning on purchasing the Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard or any other 2026 animatronic, I highly recommend checking out my storefront down below where you can purchase off the website or choose in-store pickup for select items. Anyways, let's get into the unboxing, setup, demo, and review of the Lowe's Halloween 2026 Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard animatronic. Alrighty, hello everyone, this is Halloween Haunter here, and welcome back to another Halloween video. In this Halloween video we have right here is the Lowe's Halloween 2026 Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard. Now this is yet again another Bluetooth Reaper band member from Lowe's and Techie. If you didn't know, in the past I have done pretty much videos on all the other members and I have gotten every single one. So of course when Lowe's had dropped a new member for the band, I had to go ahead and get it. There's actually like a new variant of the keyboard Reaper, but it's more in style like the guitar Reaper, where it's now playing a keytar. Not a guitar, not a keyboard, but a keytar. So kind of a cool change up here. But anyways, let's open it up and see what we got. I'm excited to finally have this new member in my hands. I love the Reaper band so much, so it's always fun for me to get new members. And all the other previous members are just staring at me unboxing this thing right now. So without further ado, let's unbox it. On the side right here, looks like we have the instructions taped to the box. So right here, there's some batteries if you want to use her on batteries. Oops, there goes the batteries. Okay, this is our classic Techie slide out box. So let me just do that real quickly. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got. So her hand came out with the top part of the keytar. Let's look at that real quickly. There it is right here. A classic Techie thing, but there is a ton of twist dies that I'm gonna have to undo, so bear with me on that. I'm just gonna quickly cut all of these. Okay, finally undoing all of that. Here is one of her arms. Oh wow, they have a cotter pin. I don't remember any other member using cotter pins. I can't remember for sure, but I don't remember seeing cotter pins ever on a Reaper band member, so that's definitely new. All the parts are kind of dumping everywhere, but what I just pulled out was the actual main keytar piece. I want to pull that out because it looks super cool. This pretty much is what's carrying this new member, because honestly this is a really sick design to see for a Reaper band member. That looks pretty awesome. Right here we have the base, all of the leg poles. Right here is the control box with the body pole, as well as a pole that sticks out to hold part of the keytar. Alrighty, awesome. It looks like the adapter is already connected. This is a pretty standard Lowe's thing, as well as the input cord to connect other Reaper band members. So we'll get to that later on in the setup, but there's that piece all done. And then I was kind of saving this for last, but I do want to take a look at, of course, the body of the female Reaper. Okay, wow, so not really what I was expecting. So she has this really nice like velvet felt clothing. It's not like the thin cloth that the other members use. It's like a much more higher quality like velvet felt design. It looks really good actually. And then her hair actually has bobby pins just so it won't go in front of her face, which makes sense. I do like when props do that. I do like that a lot. It helps a lot, especially because a lot of props, when they move their head and they have long hair, it covers her face. Luckily, this one won't have that issue. She has like red ghost roots in her hair, which actually looks pretty good. I didn't even know it had that. I knew it had the hair, but I couldn't really tell from the images that it had like ghost roots going on. So pretty cool to see that. But anyways, that's the overall body structure with the arm foam padding as well. But anyways, let's now begin the setup of the Lowe's Halloween 2026 Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard. Alrighty, so the very first thing we'll do is take the base and lay it down, of course, and then take the first set of leg poles labeled A. We'll snap lock to the base. The next set of poles will be B. Next, we'll take the control box with the body pole and snap lock that to the leg build so far. Next, we'll take the body of the keyboard Reaper and then just put her clothing and the entire body over the structure so far and simply just snap lock it on. I'll connect both the wires from the body to the control box, and I'll also make sure the little hole in front of her dress goes through the pole slot for the keytar. Next, we'll connect her leg pole. Originally, I thought this was an arm piece, but no, it is actually for her leg to kind of stick out. We'll take out the cotter pin from the very bottom of the rod, put it through the base slot, put it back in. Then we'll take the knee, put it through the slot on the hip, and then pull the dress all the way back down. Next, I'll connect the main piece of the keytar to the body. Then where the hand is connected on the keytar, I'll take her arm and snap lock the little plastic piece to the hand and attach the Velcro. Next, I will take the top piece of the keytar and actually put it into place and then twist it. Hopefully this actually does come off, unlike the Guitar Reaper where it was a one-time setup. Then we'll take the hand on the top of the keytar and connect it to the arm, once again with the little plastic tabs, and also attach that Velcro strip. So after you're done with that, if you want to play her on the default audio that she comes with, just hit her on the on switch. And if you're not going to connect any other member, then just plug her in and you're pretty much all good to go. However, if you are using her with other band members and you do want her on the default audio still, don't really do anything new to her. Keep her on that setting. However, let's say you wanted her to be the main member of your group and you wanted the audio coming out of her versus coming out of one of the other members. Let's just say for this video, since she's the focus, that the audio is coming out of her. What you're going to do is you're going to take that input and output cord she comes with and have her plugged in as an output. Any Reaper band member that is like the main member that's playing the audio and such should never have an input cord plugged into it, because the input cord is more of what the followers and the secondary members are plugged into. The main member that plays your audio should never be plugged in as an input. After you have her plugged in as an output, plug in the input portion to your next member. So in this case, I have the Bluetooth keyboard Reaper next. I'm going to plug him in as an input. You're also going to want to switch all your other members, whether it be one or all of them, to the follower mode. The follower mode pretty much means that they're going to follow the main member, which again in this case is going to be the female keyboard Reaper right here. So the original keyboard Reaper right here, we have him plugged in as an input and as a follower. Now let's say you want to connect another member, like the singer right here, who is the next member in line. We're going to plug in his cord as an output and plug it in as an input to the singer. So essentially, for pretty much your main member will be plugged in as an output only. Then the follower will be plugged in as an input. And then if you want another Reaper band member following after that, you plug in the output from that secondary member into the next member as an input. And let's say you want to add a fourth member, then you go ahead and plug in the third member as an output and then an input into the fourth member. So essentially it's output, then input, then output, then inputs. Pretty much is how the way it goes. So that's pretty much all you have to do to set up the Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard with the other members following it. Let's go ahead now and roll that demo. And then afterwards, we'll discuss how to use this prop with Bluetooth.
I love Halloween. Put another tree in the tree bag, baby. I love Halloween. Come on, it's your time to dance with me. Ow! You better fear the Reaper. I saw you standing there in the graveyard scene. Think it must have been around Halloween. And you'll soon be mine until the end of time. I can tell it wouldn't be long till you with me. Yeah, me singing I love Halloween. Put another tree in the tree bag, baby. I love Halloween. Come on, it's your time to dance with me.
So there you saw was the default demo of the Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard alongside her other fellow Reaper band members. Now, if you want to go ahead and use her on the Bluetooth setting, we can go ahead and control her through Bluetooth, and you want her paired alongside her other members. Pretty much do everything I did with that initial tutorial on how to put the band together with the default audio. However, the only thing that you will actually change is on your main Reaper band member that's going to be playing the audio. So again, in this case, the female Reaper with keyboard, we're going to change her setting from the on mode onto the Bluetooth or the leader mode. That way she is now going to be connected on Bluetooth. So when you go ahead and plug her in, you'll hear this sound. Now, after you do that, go into your Bluetooth settings, and in your Bluetooth settings, you're gonna find a little tab that says Reaper band and other devices. So go ahead and click on that. And that sound it just made is actually indicating that the band is connected to your Bluetooth device. So pretty much you're all set to go with having your entire Reaper band members now on Bluetooth. Now let's go ahead and roll a demo of the Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard on Bluetooth mode with the other Reaper band members. There you saw was the Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard in action with the default demo and then the Bluetooth demo. Now, how do I feel about this animatronic? Well, I definitely got a lot of good to say about it, but it definitely has some cons with it for sure. First of all, I do want to say the idea of this prop does feel pretty unique for the band. I mean, back in 2024, we pretty much had like the main solid members you need for a whole Reaper band. We had the drummer, we had a guitar Reaper, we had a keyboard Reaper, and we had a singer. I feel like after that, if they didn't make any more members, at least those four feel like the most important ones to make. But of course, because these guys are so popular, Lowe's and Techie were gonna obviously make more members. So they kind of had to think more creatively to get new members made, of course. 2025, we had the DJ, which although he does feel definitely the most independent from the whole band, he still at least fits the overall band when you have him next to everybody. I still think he's a cool inclusion. This year we see a new member made, the keyboard female Reaper, which is really just a guitar Reaper. Now, the guitar is very similar to the regular keyboard, of course, and also like a guitar. But because it's a guitar, a combination of a keyboard and a guitar, I can see the vision behind it and getting past it being very similar with these two, including it into my band. I think it's totally a fine idea, even if it is very similar to other instruments in the band. I think she still overall looks pretty good. I like her clothing. I like the red kit. That's really nice, like cloth. Probably the best cloth we've seen on any of the members. I love the hair with the ghost roots having the red in it. Looks really good. Her face is the same as the DJ and the guitar Reaper, which I will talk about that later, but I will say at least they kind of did make it a little different because she does appear to be very more tan than the other members. Like her face appears more tan, whereas the other members, they have some tan in there, but they mostly appear very pale. So kind of a unique thing. It's not the most unique thing, but at least it kind of makes it a little bit different. Not just a full-on reuse thing, just with the wig, even though the mold is just reused, but with the wig on it. I'm glad it has some bobby pins in the hair, just so that the hair is not constantly getting in the face. I like that at least the knee sticks out on this one. It's very reminiscent of the singer, where he had his legs stick out on the actual tombstone. So I'm very happy with the look of it. However, that being said, there is some issue with it that I do take. First of all, she pretty much is just another guitar Reaper, but they changed an instrument and they put a wig on it and then called it a day, which was kind of the same case with the DJ. I mean, his head mold and body structure is reused from the guitar Reaper. However, they at least made it structurally different, I think. And what I mean by that is at least they kind of did some things different, where at least he had like the full DJ stand. It made it feel a little bit different, and his hand postures were at least in different spots, so it didn't feel like a total obvious just reuse asset of the guitar Reaper. But this one, I think it's becoming a little apparent that they're not really doing anything too new with the band. It's just another guitar Reaper, but they slapped the wig on it and changed the instrument and called it a day, which again, I don't want to say is a bad thing. I get why they did it, but I don't want to keep seeing members come out that are basically just the same we've already had in the past, just they changed the outfit or the instrument on it. I want to see more unique animation or posture textures that make it very apparent it's not the same thing, and makes it stand out a little bit more in the band, because although these all look awesome together, it's a little bit more apparent when 3 of them just have the bobbing animation and they happen to all reuse the same head mold. It's just a little obvious there. It's becoming a little bit too apparent now. What I think they could have done differently is that they only wanted to have the head animation because they can't do like the swivel animation for some reason. I mean, these two didn't have it, so obviously this one wasn't going to have it. They weren't going to have the animation, at least like change the head sculpt, whether it be like the singer and the keyboard reaper's head mold where it has the jaw disconnected. Even though that's another member using the same head mold, and that would have been like 3 members like these 3 share. At least it's different enough from the guitar and DJ where it's not very apparent. But I think the way they could have done it even better is they could have reused the hand animation from the original keyboard reaper, the one where it goes up and down, and just put it on this hand right here. That way it's just doing this with the actual guitar, and that way again it does stand out a little bit more. I don't know, I just kind of wish that they did a little bit more with this one. It just feels like they are slightly losing the sauce with this band idea every single year. But that being said, I am not trying to sound like I even remotely hate this animatronic. I still love it, and especially for that price tag, 300 bucks, that is way too much for this animatronic. I don't think it's worth that at all, but especially because these other members, the keyboard reaper and the singer, now go for like 300 bucks, and I think they're definitely more worth it with more animation. Even the DJ seems more worth it because even though he's got the same animation and the same like body structure, at least he's got the full stand in front of him. Feels a bit more worth it, even if it's still pretty bad for him. But like, if you compare it to the original Guitar Reaper, he was $230, this is $300. That is way too much of a price difference, I think. And even for $230 back then for the original Guitar Reaper, that was still a lot of money for him. So me personally, I think it's too much. If it was $230, that would have been a lot, but at least I would have excused it for being the same price as the Guitar Reaper, so it wouldn't have felt as apparent. But that being said, the 4 members you can get this year at Lowe's, this one, the Keyboard Reaper, the singer, and the DJ, I do think she is the weakest one to get. That being said, she is still pretty awesome as an animatronic. She's still really fun. The whole Reaper band idea is such a fun thing to see for Halloween retail, and I think it can work for pretty much anything. It can work for a Halloween party, a yard display, a haunt, professional haunt, like I've seen it at the 5 Points gift shop. I just think the Reaper band is like a top 5 Halloween retail thing. It's such an awesome collection of animatronics. I'm so happy to have all of them, even with the new one being the weakest one. I would say honestly, it's still a great animatronic. It's still a great collection to have, even if it does feel the weakest. So that being said, she is still solid enough, I think. I also do kind of like the I Love Halloween female cover that we have going on this time around. To hear it again, but a new female cover, it's just funny hearing how many times that song can be used. Great song to use. But that being said, if you're somebody that has the other Reaper band members, or you are somebody throwing a Halloween party, or you do like the look of this animatronic, I would still recommend it, even with the bad pricing, even with it being just reused assets. I'm still a big fan of it, and I still do recommend it if you are considering buying. With that being said, that will conclude this video on the Lowe's Halloween 2026 Techie Bluetooth Reaper with keyboard. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next Halloween video.